Okay, welcome back to the Easy Woodworking Project today, and we are going to make a small step stool. I'm going to show you guys how to do it here. Really nice little step stool. It's pretty sturdy. You can sit on it, you can stand on it. This is made out of poplar wood, so it's some scrap stuff that I've had here, and so I decided to make one. And there's some angles on it. I'll show you the 10-degree angles on it too. So. Okay, first of all, we're going to start with the top board, and we have a top board here, and it's going to be, let me move this out of here, 14 inches long by 9¼ inches wide, and this is 3/4 inch lumber. Now, the first thing I did was I wanted to mark where I'm going to put the legs at, so I put a 2-inch mark. So what I did, I measured from the outside and I put a mark on it for 2 inches, and I did the same thing here, and then I put 4 marks on it. So I did this side, so I come from the outside and 2 inches. So now here's my couple legs, and these legs are 9¼ inches long and then 8½ inches wide. Okay, now I cut these on a 10-degree angle. You probably don't have to. I'm going to show you here in a few minutes that you can probably do it a different way if you like. Okay, but what I did with the 2-inch mark, instead to put the 2-inch mark behind the thing, I put the 2-inch mark in front of the work here, like this. So it allowed it to come out further. Now, you want to center that up. So the best way I found to center it is to mark in a 1/4 inch and another 1/4 inch, and that'll give you a marking where you're going to set this, you know what I mean, so it doesn't go on the outside. You're going to set it in like this, about a 1/4 inch on both sides. Give and take a little bit, depends on how well, you saw. I think it was cut off just a little bit. But nobody's going to see it, you know what I'm saying? So, okay. So I can put my wood like this on a 20 or a 10-degree angle, or I can go ahead and just use it flat, without putting a 10-degree angle on them like this. Okay, they'll both be on the back side of that thing. Okay, but you have to get your measurements between here. So once you get these, bolted in or screwed in or glued in, you need that measurement. Probably measure down here to be the closest. So that would be your center board. You know what I'm talking about? Because my center board is cut on 10 degrees, but your center board, you're going to need it. So it would be, let's go to the one mark, be 10 inches. So you would have to cut this 10 inches. And I don't think I have that cut to 10 inches. Mine is cut to 12¼ inches. So, because I had cut it on that angle, everything's coming at an angle, so it's a little bit bigger. So if you didn't want to do it with the 10-degree angle, that's fine. Just go ahead and do it this way here. Make sure they're square. And then you'll do, like I said, let's go through it one more time. Both of them will be like this. Put them on the back side, on the outside of the 2-inch, like this, okay? And then for your middle piece would be 10 inches. So you just kind of measure the 2 marks that you put on in between that, and that would give you that measurement for the center board here. So, okay, now what I was doing is to make mine a little bit more sturdier, to get this thing, because sometimes when you put these on here like this, they have a tendency to, when you put the screws in them, they want to move a little bit. So I thought I'd just eliminate that, and I was just use a scrap wood, and I put that scrap wood something like right here, right, where I'm going to put the 2-inch on the 2-inch marks. And then of course, I always like putting some clamps on them, but I'm going to use the table here and clamp it down on the table. Like I said, it just helps me from moving it back and forth, that's all. So when I put my leg on there, I can glue that, slide that leg right there with that, on that 10-degree angle, and then put my screws right in it like this. I'm going to go ahead and get it started. I did clean that nozzle on the end of this thing, so I probably have glue over everything now. Now, I did all my countersink, all my my screws, but if you're going to do it setting straight up like this, you could probably just go from the top, go down through, maybe put plugs in it or something like that if you like. if you can't get them countersink like this. That doesn't mean you have to have it, or you can use, like I said, small nails and put small nails on the top of that. That would work too. You know what I'm saying? Maybe put a little bit of glue and little nails. But I'll go ahead and use what I got. Well, that's loud, isn't it? Okay, get a couple screws here started. These things are a lot of fun to make. I mean, I've made a couple of them already, and I like making them. I really do. You just have to, like I'm doing. You just got to find a good way to do them without them, you know, going all over the place, where you're more comfortable putting the screws in them. Because there's, like I said, there's not much wood to this thing. Now, these screws are going to be seen if you want them to. If you don't want those screws to be seen, I'll show you in a little bit how to cover them up here. Okay, let's turn it this way, and we're going to do this other side real quick here. And my board here. If you don't have clamps, you know, just take your time and do it the best you can. Okay? So it really takes a little bit of a, I mean, you can probably do it without, you know, what I'm doing. I think it's a little easier. Mark everything out. I could take these off of there now. I don't need the board. It's done. It was a very good helper. Sometimes that's what you need, just a little bit extra help. And did I miss one? I think I missed a screw here somewhere. Well, let me grab one down here. That is the wrong one. It's right here in this box. It's like, these are cabinet screws, but they work. I know you have to watch how much you countersink them, you know, because if your screw's too big, it's gonna come up on the back side here somewhere. So now we have our center board. Now to put a center board in there, we're gonna have to probably pull these two in a little bit here, right, like that. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mark the center. That's why I call it the center board, you know. So let's go ahead and mark that center here on both sides. So that would be 4 1/4. See if I'm right. Yep, 4 1/4. So I need those marks about 4 1/4. Yep. Okay. Now, you know, it's just going to kind of eventually go down in a little bit further. I mean, you could set it up and pull them together if you like. I'm going to let mine drop right down in it because I got them on a 10-degree angle and they are flush on the bottom of the 10. I just need to get this in there like this. Okay. Now I'm going to measure both sides just to make sure that I have this running flush across it. So we're going to do it by the table, so the bottom part. Okay. Yep. There you go. So now we want to put the screws on the outside. Now I did countersink the other ones. I countersunk them back in, and then I put a little wooden plug in. You can still do that if you like. We're not going to do it that way. We're going to use some screws I bought a while back. These are the square ones, okay, and they're actually colored, is what they are. They use them for like upholstery, different things like that. But you can use them for woodworking. And then what they're going to do is you're just going to see them little black or dark, I think like a copper color knobs, little mark, you know, the screws on the side. It's not a biggie, but it'll look nice. We shouldn't have too much of trouble in it because we're going to try to screw them in straight. That's the only problem is when you do them on the 10-degree angle, you know, everything's on a little bit of a tilt. So when you put screws out there, it's going to have to go back in a little bit just to kind of make it flush. So let me go ahead and get this centered staple. I'm going to put a staple here. I'm going to put a staple in here to hold that for me. Let's knock that one over a little bit. Okay. I'll got it up here for a while. Okay. So that's kind of holding in place until I get ready to, you know, put my screws here on the sides. But I want to make sure that it's flush right now. So I need that little square I have. Okay, and I'll just set the square down here just to kind of make it look, to make sure I'm going in the right, you know, just a little bit off right there. Perfect. Okay. Now, we need to tip it up on its side here. And we're going to have to get that measurement where we want those two screws. So, let's see what we got in the middle. Again, 4 1/4 in the middle. Okay, and then I need to come up. I'm going to come up 3 3/4 to 5 1/2. So I'm going to come up 3 3/4, or no, 3 3/4 here. I'm going to put a mark here, and I'm going to put a mark on 5 1/2. Okay, let's do the other side. Go 4 1/4 across, 4 1/4 across, 3 1/4 up, 5 1/2. Yep, looks about good there. Now, like I said, if you like, you can countersink it. I'm not going to countersink them. As soon as I find a bit here, I thought I had a bit for this thing, and I guess I don't. See what's in this. Every time you turn around, something takes something different. Yeah, that'll work. You know, different screws, different bolts, everything. So now it might be good. I'll tell you what, it might be good to go ahead and put a couple drill spots in it so it doesn't, so it'll drive down through straight. That's what I'm going to do. Use a real small drill bit here. Just like that. Now, let's see what it does. One. Two. Put a couple on this side. Okay. Okay, there you go. Okay, now since I had it, these little places down here where I ran, the screws in it, because I cut, I countersink all this. What I did is I took another piece of wood I had and I just cut two little pieces out to put them down here, just to kind of cover that up, because I didn't want to see those. I didn't want to see them screws. So I'll go ahead and just put a little glue down here on this piece. Now this is just, extra scrap maybe you have that you can use. There's one here. Let's get this one done. Here's another piece. There we go. Put a couple staples in it. Now the ends, some of the ends might stick out a little bit. You can just go ahead and say, I'm going to probably use a hand sander on the ends here and straighten this up a little bit, make it look really nice for this, and then sand these edges off like this. But I'm going to go ahead and run a router over it, a small router. You can pick something like that, whatever pattern you like to have, different types of bits. So we're just going to run this one here. It's in there. We've been using it for a while. It's probably one of our favorite ones. Just a little bit of sand and stuff here around the sides is all I really need to do. Straighten it up. But if you don't want it this way, you want some kind of design you can cut into this, you can just, what I do, I just measure over here, put a mark, say like 2 inches here, 2 inches here, maybe 3 inches up. You don't want to go hit your piece here with it. You know what I mean? You want to keep it below it. And then just cut that out with a scroll saw or something like that, and you'll have like a little V or a little U or something like that in it. If you like to do that, you can, if you wanted to, you can even find something, you know what I mean, like say for instance, something like this. If you want, stick it there, mark it around it. That's what a lot of people do. So okay, that's it. This wood's a little bit dried out, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of sanding on it, but it's not a biggie. But if you guys wanted to, you don't have to put these little screws here on the side if you don't have those. You can just countersink them like I did this one right here and put a couple plugs in it. It works just as good. I was just making them different ways because every time I make something, I always try to make it something a little bit different to try and improve it, to make it better and better. So if you mess up, don't worry about it. Make another one. Keep trying. Because you're gonna make something really nice. So, okay, if you have any comments, just leave in the comment section. And thanks for watching, and have a great day.